What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Grounded 2. Playgrounds update is here, and we're going to see if we can design our very own first world. To begin with, I've never done this before, so we're about to learn the hard way how to create our own playground. So smash that like button, consider hitting the subscribe, and let's get into it. So I'm thinking we need to find a place for the player to spawn when we first begin. I reckon this elevated section over here would be a really good spot to do it. So let's begin our build right about here. What we could use is these cardboard boxes here. Now what I'm thinking is we got thrown out in the trash, and that's how we ended up here in the first place. So I'm going to go ahead and build a little section here, and once I've done, I'll come back to you. So where the player first spawns, this is what I've managed to come up with. It's just a bunch of boxes up in the corner at the moment, and if we were to zoom into the back corner of these boxes, I have created a nice little beginning starting area. So we have our player spawn spot where they're going to first spawn in. I've brought back the little tents from Grounded 1. Why not? And basically we just have some beginner gear here. So we have a little drinking spot where they can get some free water when they first start. And we have ourselves our first weapon and our first piece of armor. Once they finish doing that, the idea is to jump onto this box, or onto this book, I should say, right here. Come around here, go through this piece of pipe, all the way through. Now they can either go down, taking them directly to the ground, or come up to the top and jump over onto this plate. Now there's nothing on the plate just yet, but I might add something there in the future. If they find a way to get up on top here, they do have one small piece of raw science. So, I think that's an excellent beginning to our starting area. I'm going to continue building out this map, and I'll catch up with you in a minute. So this is what we've managed to come up with so far. We've added in some paint cans, we've added in another box over here, and a couple of pot plants in the back corner. I also added a few posts along the front, and a nice little mushroom area. Now if we make our way over to this section, hold on. We've also added in this section right here, where we have the little step, and the opening into the section that's underneath. Now we haven't built out nothing that's underneath yet. I just noticed we got a mistake there. Once you come out of the section where the mushrooms are, it then leads over to here where you can also come down and through this little hole right here. Now we haven't built nothing down in here yet. We'll get into that in the next episode. But at the moment, I think we're starting to get somewhere. It is now time for us to do a little game test to see whether our section works. So this is where you first start and where you're first going to spawn. For the beginners, we have a nice water cooler here. They can collect their water. You can get your weapon, and you can get your first piece of armor. Once you have this, you'd make your way over to the book over here. Jump onto the book, come down, and then go through the pipe section right here. Once you come to this section, you can either come up here over to the plate or head down into our first playground area. So the only bit of logic that we've set up is in this section over here. If we come over, it spawns these gnats that fly around. Not too bad, not too shabby, mate. Now that we've created our very first section for the playgrounds, we're going to leave this episode here. So in the future episodes, we're going to build this whole area out and make it into an actual playable world. So hopefully you're all going to be there for that. Smash the like button, consider hitting that subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next episode. See you later.